Today's guest didn't wait for an opportunity, he created one. A young content creator turned business owner who's already ahead of where most people his twice his age are. He's built an audience, built a business, and has a story worth hearing. Now I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Saif Alhajahmad. I'm 16 years old. I'm here based in Abu Dhabi, and for the past 3 years, I've been on social media, posting constantly every single day. I was able to get a following of over 500,000 people, which was one of my best achievements. I own a clothing brand called 1117, where I donate 10% of all my orders to Palestine. And alhamdulillah, we've raised over 10,000 dirhams, which is one of my biggest achievements as well. I've recently started a run club, which is open to people my age, so ages between 15 to 20, who come in, run with us, and basically we network and get to know each other. We have just reached over 150 members, which is a goal, which is something that I'm really proud of. And yeah, honestly, what I love doing is inspiring people my age. I enjoy posting content that's motivational and that helps people. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and I really appreciate you guys for this.
All right, that's amazing. I mean, I see you on my TikTok for you page almost every
Oh,
day. I
really?
think Audrey does the same. So
I
Yeah,
think
I see you you play football. That's clear. I
right.
think everyone knows that. That's of course your hobby, and then you run and you go to the gym. You're a model, you're an influencer, you're a business owner, and of course there's a lot more like musician, which I found out today.
Oh
So
yeah.
so that all of that is so amazing. And what just, the first question that comes to my mind is how do you find the balance? What's that one key thing you look for to be able to balance everything, whether it's spending time with your family, whether it's finding time to work on your business, school, as you're still really young. So how are you able to do all of this at once?
Yeah, man, I appreciate your question. Honestly, I get that a lot actually. People are always asking me, Safe, how do you balance all of these things? And I always give them the same response. It's just because I love what I do. I love what I do. I love posting. I love sharing what I'm doing. I love making people's day better. So I'll always find a way to do it. And when I'm doing something, I make sure I get it done 100%. I actually have it on my board right there. It's one of my
Hmm.
main, so the
Yeah.
main thing that I focus on. I make sure I get it done and I get it done properly. So let's say I have a school exam. Always prioritize school. Everyone thinks, oh, drop out of school, drop out of school. You already have all of this. I'm like, no, no, sorry. School is number one for me. So I make sure I get that done and I do not mess around with that. So that people always think it takes so long to study, but a guy who studies 12 hours compared to a guy who studies 1 hour, the guy who studies 1 hour could get better grades. He studies better and more efficiently. So that's something when people say an excuse about they have no time, I always tell them just use it properly. So balancing everything together, I feel like is something that just comes naturally when you really enjoy what you're doing. And for me, I'm always finding a way. I'm not doom scrolling on my phone. I'm not wasting a lot of time doing that. And I'm always trying to. What I do is basically, I watched an interview actually with Steve Jobs, and how he organizes his day is through signal and noise. Steve Jobs has his system as 80% signal, 20% noise, meaning 80% of his day is is work. He deems 5 to 8 things that he wants to complete every day and puts 100% of his effort on that to finish those 5 tasks. That's 80% of his day. Then he has 20% noise. That's his family time. That's his friends' time. That's when he sits down and he actually meditates, something that I've been doing recently, painting. So to me, I try my best to find that balance of signal and noise. And I always try to tell people try to find your balance because once you find your balance, it's really easy, much easier than what people actually think.
Amazing. I mean,
that's
that's
really
so
nice to hear.
inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we're your age, and I'm sure all we spend like a lot of our time from schooling, and it's really nice to
yeah.
hear that you're able to overcome that. So, could you like take us through a day in your life, like your schedule?
How
Hmm.
are you able to like fit it into it? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you sleep? How are you like building throughout the day?
Yeah. So I always start my day the same. I always try to wake up around 5:30 a.m. and I pray Fajr. That's how I start my day all the time. Once I'm done with my prayers, I do my normal morning routine. I do all of this and I make sure I give myself at least 30 to 40 minutes before I even touch my phone. My phone is there. I don't even look at it. I just have my alarm. I turn it off and I go through my morning. And then after I do my morning routine, I either go for a run or go for a gym for to the gym. And when I the days that I'm running are the days where I'm most likely where I think I need to take a little bit of time out. I need to just run and I need to debrief my day and how it will actually what I'll do, what tasks do I need to complete. And if I'm going to the gym, that means I already have my goals set. I have it done already. So I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym just for my own body and then after straight working. So it varies, but I'm always trying to get at least 30 to 45 minutes of activity in the morning. And that triggers your brain for the rest of the day. When you start your day strong like that, your whole entire day will it will just it'll come naturally. You'll feel it. It will become much better. And then obviously I have my school, which I from 8:30 to 3:30 p.m. is schoolwork. But I get it done. Like I really work and listen to the teachers and I try getting my best grades cuz I need to get it done so I have time for other things to do after school. And then like I said, depending on the 5 tasks that I gave myself earlier in the morning, I'll make sure I get those done and I'll make sure I have to get those done. If I don't get those done, I consider my day, خلاص, I messed it up. But most of the days I get it done because they're realistic goals. For example, today, one of my goals, I had to arrange something for a new thing that I'm building. Um, it's a huge project. It's something I'm really excited in sharing online, and I had to make sure I had to do all my software and I had to do a lot of coding for it. So I made sure I had that done, and then after I gave myself 35 minutes just painting, literally painting, relaxing cuz sometimes you need that meditation. You need to take a break. So my days vary honestly, but pretty much the system stays the same. And I try to tell that to everyone because when you have an unbalanced system, that creates habits and habits pile up. And once you create bad habits, you'll start noticing it. For example, waking up late, for example, not eating the right food, not going to the gym, not staying consistent, those pile up and it affects you negatively. So as long as you have a built system where you feel like it's working and it's working in a good way, stick to it and you will see results.
Amazing. Okay. So one thing I really want to pick out of what you said that it comes out naturally. So I want to shift towards your business perspective. When you say it comes naturally, when you just started building, whether it was your Instagram page or whether it was 11, 17, did that idea come naturally or did you have like a plan from the start that, yes, I want to do this and so I'll work towards it every day? Or was it something, I just saw this. This is the cause I want to work for. So I'll do this. Did you build a brand first, or did you set a goal and then build the brand?
That's a really good question, Mahi, and I appreciate that. No one has ever asked me that, and I could actually answer that pretty well. Growing up, I was 11 years old doing like NFTs. Then 12, I went into like in stocks, and I was always on something. So I've always had that mindset at a young age. So when I turned 14, I started posting TikToks. Originally, they're for my friends actually. I started posting just I posted one video, didn't expect it to go viral. I posted it for just my friends and then it blew up. I'm like, okay. I posted another one, and then I started gaining followers. I gained 10,000 followers in like a week, and then at one point, I gained 100,000 in a month, and then I just grew that following by staying consistent. We could talk about that later, though. Then I realized now that I have a following, I could really do something with it. I could really do something where I could inspire these people. I could change people's perspective of their closed mindset of how age matters, and you're glued to school and you can't do anything else. So I decided to take that into my own matter, and I created 1117 at 14 years old, and I made sure that it had a purpose and a cause. Because without a purpose and a cause, why would I do something? So I did it where I'm from, Palestine. I wanted to spread awareness, which is something that I did, which I'm very proud of. And I wouldn't say it came. I would say like came naturally in the sense of my business mindset, how I was able to really concentrate on turning my followers into like kind of revenue, and I was able to turn my following into actually a community where I could inspire people. To me, money was never the main thing, and I tell everyone that till this day. It's just being able to inspire people, that's what I really really love.
Okay.
Amazing.
Now, coming back to your brand 1117, what does 1117 mean to you? Like, why that name?
Well, actually, it's a funny story. 1117 is my birthday, November 17. So I created it 1117, and it took me a long time to think of the name. And then it was my birthday, and then someone said, "Your birthday is on 1117." I'm like, 1117? I like how that sounds. So I was like, you know what? I'll make it 1117. And ever since then, it's been my identity, and it means a lot to me. You know, not just because it's my birthday, but also because of the actual 1117 that I built. When people think 1117, they think of community, they think of, spreading awareness, donating. You know, it's something that I really really appreciate now that I've established this. So yeah,
Yeah, so you've basically built a brand image. So everywhere people go, they'll know 1117. I remember that's a brand safe built. So they'll
yeah.
remember that over a period of time. Now, I want to pull your attention back to that big following you have. Now, of course, you feel some sort of pressure every day to innovate, to be able to inspire. Now, would you say that there is some things that you don't put out onto social media? What's the thing that's happening beyond the blueprint? What's happening behind the scenes that nobody's seeing, but you wish you could put out there, but you wish you could inspire others to think that way?
Man, honestly, I was actually thinking about this earlier today. Um, there's something that I always wish that I did, which was document my whole journey, starting from day one to now. That's something I wish I would show people, because it's really difficult sometimes, try being able to balance a lot of things and having that expectation, as I established already, as someone who has all of these things. So it's really hard sometimes, and it gets deep. So I wish I could show people that it's not always easy, and you really have to try. You really have to work hard for it. You have to stay consistent, and you have to put in the work. It doesn't come easy. That's something that I wish I honestly I did more, was document my journey. And I feel like it would have changed a lot of things. And obviously there's some things that I'm doing right now that I can't really post on social media. I wish I can. It's awesome.
Yeah, we
It's
get it.
amazing.
We get it. That's that. I mean,
Uh,
of course, there are some things you want to save for the future because that'll
yeah,
really, that gets you excited, that gets the crowd excited, keeps it going. Amazing. I
yeah.
mean, honestly, so far, halfway into the interview, I am loving your confidence, the way you speak, your mindset. And that's not just inspiring me and others right here. It's inspiring a whole new generation. I'm telling you. As soon as we put this out, I'm sure people will be clicking and clicking all
Man,
day. I
the
mean,
goal, man. The goal.
yeah. So
Okay.
And
other
also, yeah, coming back to what you said earlier, your entire journey, of course, it was hard to build something so good. So, what pushed you to stay consistent? What pushed you to persist through all the problems and the hardships?
That's a really good question. For me, as I said, my goal is to be able to inspire thousands and to be able to mentor hundreds and try my best to put a good example. So that was my main motive, to be honest. Just knowing that there's someone out there who wants to be like me, who's asking me questions, who's because I'm always interacting with the people who DM me all the time because I really want to help them. So just seeing that I made someone's day, or seeing that, like, getting the message like, "Hey bro, like I've been going to the gym all because of you," like that really means a lot to me, honestly.
Okay, so it's definitely the fans that are helping you build up that confidence every day and that persistence and the consistency. You like seeing your audience grow as
Yeah.
well as you, you know? So it's like
Yeah, but
a
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like that, but I don't like to call them fans. I feel like
okay,
that's not
your
meant to.
friends.
Like your
I like to
community.
call them my community. Yeah,
Okay,
people that
amazing.
people that I really really help. I've actually just started doing personal one-on-one coaching with a couple people where I take them, I build systems for them and all of that. So I don't really like to call them fans. I feel like that's pretty generic,
Yeah.
but I like to call them a community of people that I could talk to. They could talk to me open. You know.
Okay, so I want to again pluck out something you said. You said that you want to help people grow, right? So whenever they DM you, you DM them back, right? So
Yeah.
imagine you could go back to yourself in the past. Think 5 years ago, 3 years ago, when you started building, just as soon as you started building, what would you tell yourself that you didn't know, you know, so that you would be able to go on the path a lot more easier? What's something you would tell yourself so that you could stay even more consistent, even better, and grow even faster?
Honestly, if I were to tell my younger self one more thing before starting, I would definitely tell him to be prepared for the journey, to be prepared for the lows and the highs, because the lows hurt more. The lows actually are, in my opinion, are worth more than the highs. I actually wrote a short book on that, and I would really, really put that in his brain, and I would also tell him to document his whole journey on social media, because I feel like having that connection with online, starting from day one, day two, day three, people will feel connected to whatever you're building, and that creates a stronger community, which, like I said, is the most important thing, especially when trying to start something online, trying to start a business, like for example, a clothing brand, 1117. It's very important you you just build a community online.
Okay, that's really, really nice to hear. So now at this age, we're all trying to grow, we're all trying to build something special, something that people remember us by. If a student our age came up to you and wanted to start something this week, what would you tell them?
I mean,
That
bro,
sounds
like before you answer, I just want to say I have tried so many things personally, and I feel like I had no one to guide me. And I've built my own clothing brand as well. It
really
didn't turn out too good, and then I moved on to trying to make videos about finance, economics. I tried starting up my own coding area thingy where I make websites for people, and every time I do it, I feel like I always run into a dead end. You know, I'm always going towards something that's, the trend is going down. So nobody really
understand.
wants to go that way. So, how are you able to keep up with these trends? And when you keep up with these trends, like, as Adrit said, what's that one piece of advice you give to someone who comes to you? Yes, I want to build something today. And what would you say
Like the
to them?
most critical part.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mahan, I respect that everything that you do. Keep going because it will work eventually. What Something will work. Trust me. You could do 100 things and one thing will work 100%. But one thing that I would tell people who are in a similar position would be just keep going. And if something you feel like is stopping, like a dead end, try to figure out what's going on, because I promise you, there has been maybe three things I could actually tell you something that actually failed, that I created, and I'll tell you how I made it actually successful. So before even I did social media, I was really into nutrition. So I created a recipe book for drinks that you drink in the morning. You make it on your juicer. I had zero interactions. I had zero people looking at my recipe book. No one bought it. So what I did, instead of defining it as a dead end, I worked around it. So I started messaging influencers. I started putting posters all over my community, and I started posting social media without showing my face. Drink recipes, I would put the benefits and all of that. I really, really worked maybe a month straight just trying to get this to work. And at the end, it worked. And that's when knew that I was able to really put my mind to something and fix it. So for anyone who's starting something and feels like they have a dead end, I would say try your best to work around that dead end, and don't identify it as a dead end, because you could always be here and then go here. Always. That's what I tell everyone. Even if you're at your lowest point, if you feel like nothing's working, if you stay consistent, you will slowly see exponential growth. And that's something that I tell the people who I'm working with right now for my one-to-one coaching. Sometimes they post videos and it doesn't go viral, but I tell them post every day, and we've seen a lot of growth in all of their accounts.
That's amazing. Okay, so I guess we'll end it off here, but I just want to say throughout the whole interview, your attitude, your kindness has been so wonderful. I mean, you just taking time out of your day just tells us how wonderful of a person you are, because you have
Thank you.
such a huge following, you're building so many things, and yet you're able to take out time just to interview with us. So we just want to say a big thank you from Dubai Scholars, a big thank you from DS Identity, and it truly means a lot. So we'll end the interview right off here, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure. I hope everyone learned something from here.